This is a video on the TAC timer system for Red River Army Depot from Alzatex. The pieces you have in the system are first the DSP 504A display that shows the target, the actual, the deviation between the actual and targets, and the cycle time. But you also get will be three 3-foot Cat5 cables for daisy chaining the displays in the back, a 14-foot Cat5 cable for connecting the KT6X422A junction box to the display and to the other pieces of the system. There will be a 12-volt 9-amp power supply that will be connected to the KT6X422A through a cable. You'll also get a couple of LED pack lights here that will show green, yellow, and red depending upon what's going on in the cycle time. There will be a relay. That's an RLY15 ARTAT that will be connected to the pack lights through an EN3 connector. Will be connected to the junction box through a 25-foot Cat5 cable, and will be powered by a 24-volt transformer for the pack lights. Also in the system will be a DC 117B6 Production 1 controller that will be connected to the junction box through a Cat5, a 25-foot Cat5 cable, through the out junction, the RS422 out, and also it will be connected through a 6-conductor phone cord to a KT4XRJ14A0 junction circuit, and into the junctions will be through a 22 2-gauge wire, a mushroom button that will be hardwired into the connector, and 3 KP04B 4-button keypads that will also be connected through 6-conductor standard phone cords. Now the way the system is hooked up, we'll just run through it quickly and show how it works. On the back of the display there'll be some labels showing what the different jacks do. And so you'll want to go from the receive jack of the top one to the transmit jack of the one below it. And just continue daisy chaining with the 3-foot Cat5 cables from the receive jack of the second one in line to the transmit jack of the one below it, and so on through the 3 upper displays. And from the lowest display here, you go from the receive jack with the 14-foot Cat5. You can just snap in to the RX422 like such, and run it over to the KT6X422A. Any of the out jacks will do. So we'll go ahead and flip this display around. So that's basically how the display is hooked up. Then the KT4X22 through its power cord will plug in to the Molex connector, like such. The relay for the pack lights will also plug into any of the out jacks on the KT6X422. The DC117B6 will plug into the only in-out jack on the KT6X422. This will transmit the data into the junction box. Now the two pack lights here, they're EN3 connectors. You can just spin them around till you feel where it goes in, and you can lock them in place. Okay, and then just make sure that the buttons are connected. Here we've already connected them. For the DC117, there's also an SD memory card that can be put into the SD memory card slot for storing data. Then to power the system, the 24-volt transformer goes into the jack here, the center jack, to power the LED lights. And then just a standard power cord will go into the other side of the 12-volt 9-amp brick, like such. What you should see on the display is the target number of items you want to make, the actual number of items that you've made, the difference between that, and then the cycle time that it takes to make each item. Here we have the cycle time starting at 1 minute. To start the system, you can use any of the keypads and hit the run button, which will start reducing the cycle time, running it down from the minute. The pack lights will be on green until you get to a predetermined time that you can set up in the controller, at which you can have them switch to yellow as a warning time. And then when cycle time gets to 0, the red warning light will come on. Now, just to make matters easier, we'll go ahead and say we've already made one item. We'll click the next button on any of the KP04Bs. Just click it once. That will start the cycle time over again. It will count up the actual number of items you've made by 1, and the difference between the actual and the target will be 1. Pretty soon, the target time, which is also every minute, will continue cycling around, and every minute the target will increase by 1. Now what happens when the cycle time, which is not the same as the target time is always counting down from 1 minute to 0, and at 0 it will always increment the target by 1. But the cycle time starts over every time you push a next button or you push the mushroom button. Now when cycle time gets down to about 8 seconds, the LEDs here and the little LED pack lights will turn yellow. At 4 seconds they'll start flashing. And when you get down to 0, the pack lights will turn red as an indicator. And the cycle time will say it's over, and it will start counting up from 1 minute until such time as you've made another item. Now at this point, 2 actual minutes have gone by. The target that you want to make was 2. You've only made 1. Your deviation's -1. Let's say we went ahead and finished another item. I went ahead and pushed, say, the mushroom button. Now I'm actually up to 2. I'm even with the target time. The deviation's 0. That's basically how the system works.